Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Eddie Marcus here again. So glad that you stopped on this post, and I hope you stay until it's finished and then come back again. I'm going to speak on two particular occasions, and I would put it all together, but it would be too long, so I'm going to separate it in two parts. Part one, I want to talk to you about God's plan for you if you agree with it. And in the second part, I will talk to you about how to get all of that which God has promised you and made it possible for you. And you know, I'm always talking to you about our society and the conditions that we have to deal with every day, but I'm contrasting it with that which is most desirable as far as I can see, and I have to believe that you do as well. And so I only understand that this can be possible through an outside power that is able to do things that you and I cannot do. And we can only do it if we are used as tools. For instance, procreation. We are used as tools to bring babies into the world. Babies into the world, to keep it going. We are also used as tools to keep society advancing and keep it growing and maturing, using the senses of today to get us to the senses of tomorrow. And that is through a stage process. And so right now, ladies and gentlemen, while we have come through a democratic process, we say, and it could be good, at least for some of us it is, and for others it might not be that good. Nevertheless, it has us where we are today. But it is not going to continue holding us here because the time has come, a new idea has come for us to move on up. And so, ladies and gentlemen, let me share with you the goodness of God and the plans that God has made for you already through the creation of the earth and establishing within the earth, on the earth, or above the earth, all of the resources necessary, whether they're seen or unseen, to do all of the things that we as people might come up with through our imagination that we want to endeavor and to achieve throughout any periods of time. God is magnificent, can do that. And that's why we are here where we are today. But for those of you, let's talk about home, having a home. Now, many of you have homes already. Many of you don't have any type of living facility as your own. Well, that has got to change. God's plan doesn't put up with that. Doesn't mean you got to have a big house. You might not want a big house. You might want to live in a cage, and if that's possible to have that cage available for you to enjoy that cage as you'd like to, then we as society will do exactly what we can to make that possible. You might want to live in a tent. I'm sure there could be tent cities set up in such a magnificent way. But whatever it is, you won't be homeless. Not in God's plan. And for those of you who have homes, you know the kind of problems that you deal with, trying to keep it up to standards. You know, one time you're in it, maybe when you have it built or when you buy it, it's all polished up. Then a few years pass by, and income is not what you had hoped it would be, or there might be other things that enter into the process and you don't have those funds. And sometimes that house needs a facelift, it needs some work done, and you just putting it off until, well, God's plan doesn't go for putting it off. It has to be taken care of when it needs to be taken care of. God's plan accommodates that. Make sure that you have the proper appliances as you see fit in your own homes, that you have the kind of windows and decks and stuff as you desire them, that your driveways and your garages and your yards can always look beautiful. God has a plan. You know, Miss Warren, when she was running for president, a candidate for Democratic representation for president, she was always saying she got a plan. She got a plan for this. She got a plan for that. And I don't know whether she got a plan or not, but she says she got a plan. A lot of folks believe that she got a plan. And I want to tell you, you can bet your last money the one who shaped this earth and did all that it has done, darn sure got a plan for our peace and our prosperity and the joy of our lives. Now see, these is just some of the things I just wanted to mention to you about your home ownerships. These are the kind of problems that you want to run, that you're going to run into, and you want to know that they're going to be taken care of. Now, in the past, you've had to focus on it yourselves. You had to focus on all this kind of stuff. Why? Because it was yours. And the system is set up in such a way that that's how it's done. But that's an old-fashioned system. We come into a brand new system, ladies and gentlemen, that this thing works perfectly for you and all parties concerned. What about those of you who own cars? You know, those car notes can get big, deep big. I remember paying $2,000 for a brand new car. With the insurance, it's about $3,000. What kind of car can you buy for $3,000? You had to buy it up the junkyard. And, well, you're going to have some problems with them. You need to know that those cars have access to have them tuned up and oil changes, the shocks adjusted or changed when needed, transmission work, engine work, whatever needs to be done, gas, all that. Mechanics take care of your property, take care of the car that you have chosen to be your get-around thing. Every last one of you who got cars, now I know a lot of you don't have cars, well, we're going to have to fix that so you can have a means of transportation. Now, we know everybody seems like they might want a car, especially if they can get it. And can you imagine what the traffic would be like if everybody had a car? Well, so we'd have to be innovative. We have to come up with public transportation, come up with the kinds of movement and speed that get you there real fast till it would be seemingly more interesting in grabbing public transportation than driving a car. And so we accommodate to make sure that everybody is satisfied about moving around, getting from point A to point Z. And so, ladies and gentlemen, I just want you to know how God has plans for that, all in the beginning, my friends. So what about your education? Education, you know what education is for. Education guaranteeing you an opportunity to learn that which you didn't know, that it might help you in that which you do know, to be better at it is, so when you serve it, the people gets better results out of it all. Well, that father made sure that everybody could have access to education. Now, I know we don't have that today, but we're talking about an old system. Now we're talking about a new system where you will be guaranteed education all your life. Anytime you need some education, it's there for you. And the education will be using all of the advanced technology, all of the infrastructure that's needed to be the best that you can be based upon what the master wants you to be and what we need, all the staff and the administration. All of that, ladies and gentlemen, all the stuff that I haven't even mentioned, all of it, those areas that only you might know about, that we the general public might not. Well, they're being dealt with, and they will be dealt with, and it will be beautiful. I'm telling you, I'm not like Trump. I'm telling you something about God. I'm not telling you something about me, unless, and that ain't so. So, ladies and gentlemen, I want you to know that not only is health care the next step, but it is required from the womb to the tomb. And the master, that power that we cannot see, have provided that none of us, those of you in don't have health care, I know you've been told that that's a socialist thing, and perhaps some people are not entitled to have adequate health care. If those of you who got a little something want better health care, you need to make them suffer. Well, that's the old way, ladies and gentlemen. Let me tell you something about the master. The master got a plan to fix that. I didn't say me. I say the master that I come to tell you about got a plan to fix that so you can have adequate health care. And it's there for you when you need it. You got the facilities, you got the structures, you got the expertise, and you got people that's there just hoping that you don't have to come. But if you do, bring it on, because they're ready to get it on. And I want you to know, ladies and gentlemen, that's because the master run that show. And also, when we're talking about just the general public, people who are in public service, you know, people who just deal with simple things, transportation, like whether it has to do with the buses and boats, air, dealing with the daily works of picking up garbage, dealing with the postal services, dealing with deliveries, dealing with maintenance and counselors for the different needs that have established itself within our system, which most of them, especially the ones that come out of old school, won't be used in the new school, because the problems of the old school were created by the system and the people and the operation of the old school. But a new system that's designed to do a new thing will eliminate that. We don't have to worry about that. So all of those things are going to be taken care of, ladies and gentlemen, including your food and your clothing and your shelter, all of that stuff. Every last American. And when I say every last American, it's only because it will give us a chance to shine. We would have already got the evidence. We would have put up. Now we can shut up because we're shining now like a light. We don't have to say anything. And all the nations around us, the one we've been talking about, communist nations, the one we've been talking about, dictatorships, the ones we've been talking about are so against the standards for which we represent. Now we don't have to say anything. We just be who we are. And they will want to be, just like in our country, everybody wants to be a millionaire. They know the benefit, that's why they play the lottery. Everybody wants, but everybody can't. In this thing that we would have proven is that yes, you can. Because in this country, we all shining. And it is together that makes us shine like the sun. And people everywhere can see it. They don't want to take over the sun. They just want to get some of the rays. And we are not holding back. So whatever we can do, whatever we do, it's there for those who says yes. Just like it's been here for us all the time. For those who said yes to the master. And stop talking about that crazy stuff. Well, see, ladies and gentlemen, you know, we're at a time when we have people talking about promises, what they promise you that they're going to do for you. Now, I've been living my whole lifetime, and I've been hearing those promises over and over and over again. And so I'm standing here telling you, ladies, don't trust those promises. Don't trust those promises. Don't trust those promises. And when I ask you to trust God, I'm not just asking you to trust God. See, in trusting God, it requires that you open up and let God in. And you become a physical manifestation of God. So it ain't no God ain't here. Yes, he is. Because you're here. And you are the evidence by what you're doing, by what you stand up for, by what you represent. No, we're not going to tell you that we're going to lower taxes for the middle class, trick you, and give them to the people that don't need it. No, we're not going to tell you stuff like that. We're not going to tell you we're not going to be cutting programs that help people, and at the same time where we're trying to cut food stamps, we're trying to cut other assistance. No, that's the old school stuff. Ladies and gentlemen, you see it. Every day you see it. Now, you walk that way. You walk that way whether you liked it or not. It was the system. It was the decisions that were made by those who make the decision. And now you have walked accordingly to it. I want you to know you got the right. You got the right to change your mind anytime you get ready. Just like a teenager walking away from home because you want to go check it out. You can go out there and check it out. But you got the right to say, hey, this stuff ain't going nowhere. I'm going back home. You got the right. And if you got a loving parent who was any good to you in the beginning, they'll be so glad to see you come back. Oh, baby. Anyway, ladies and gentlemen, I want you to know that your daycare and your child care and all of the things that you have to deal with in life today will be taken care of according to God's plan. Now, I have been here close to 15 minutes, so I'm going to stop here, and I'm going to go to part 2. And I hope you'll take the time to switch over and check out part 2, and you will get the bite on how simple it is to make this real in our lives today. And once again, Eddie Marcus, and I want to thank you. This was just a presentation to let you know that God has a plan in every walk of your life. And that doesn't mean that he's trying to tell you what to do. He just designed the path that leads to the things that you know are essential. And so, bye-bye.